Mm-hmm.
4, 3,
Listen, for everybody around the Philadelphia area, the mayor election is coming up, and it's a serious thing. And I don't know, the list keeps growing with people who are running for mayor. And you say, what? Your name is Jon McKay,
Yes.
and security for Philly, but you are what?
Oh, I'm definitely running for mayor, and I'm going to be mayor.
And you're going to be mayor. What makes you so confident that you will be the mayor?
Well, for one, this is an assignment from God Himself. To my knowledge, not many of the candidates are even acknowledging the God in their lives. No shade, but and when it comes to politics, as I've been arriving to this point, and I let people know that God, this is assignment by God. They're like, oh, you can't mention God in politics, and that's exactly why we have the atmosphere that we have because we've had leaders that haven't been standing on the principles of God, and that's how I'm here.
But like some people say, like now that there's so many people that we're going to start canceling each other out, and we may let other people win that we may not want to win because we're canceling each other out.
Well, traditionally in Philadelphia, only 25% of the population have been decided in the election. I represent the 75%. Those individuals that haven't been voting, those individuals that if you listen closely to some of the past statements of politicians, they say those people don't care about this, they don't care about that. I know better than that. I know that 75% haven't been voting because they haven't been represented. And that's what I'm here. I'm here to represent the unrepresented. So all of these children that have been the lives that have been lost, all of the decapitated neighborhoods, and all of those spaces where we haven't been coming out to vote. We haven't been coming out to vote because we had never had no representation. So God has strengthened me and positioned me to have the knowledge, the resources, and in the vision. You understand? Before I decided to run for mayor, I'm currently the president of Life Outside the Streets, where our mission is to treat trauma through arts, education, and information. Untreated trauma is at the root cause of everything that plagues our community. I've shared this with each and every candidate that's on the bill, and with their position in politics and as business people and city leaders, not one of them has ever took the initiative to bring safety to our communities, to create a campaign around healing or anything. So now to step out and say that y'all running for mayor, I guess anybody can do it, but it doesn't really make much sense. But I just say that to say that my life has been dedicated to really transforming our communities. I graduated from Girard College in 2002. I went there from 2nd to 12th grade. Stephen Girard died the richest man in the country, and he donated Girard College, to serve at that time white orphans in the community. But and I say all of that to say that once I graduated in 2002, by the time 2007 hit, I saw that the only difference between myself and individuals that didn't go to Girard, was a curriculum. So and that's when I formed Life Outside the Streets so that I can share the education, experience, and resources that I got from Girard that you don't get at the traditional public school system. And it's not because, not that we can't get more, that we can't use more money, but it's more or less because there's no accountability to make sure adequate education, adequate resources, food, and things, are distributed to the community. There's no oversight. They want every budget, every resource that the government gets, it gets from the majority. It don't get from the minority. It gets from what the statistics say about the majority. But when they distribute it, they don't distribute it with integrity. And that's what I'm here to represent. Serving people with love and honor and respect. That's all we're missing here in Philadelphia.
So why do you have to do that as a mayor? You could do that as a citizen. Why be a mayor to have to do that?
Well, let me explain something to you. It needs to be done as the mayor because as citizens, we've organized and we've put bills on the table that shout out to some of our city council people, even some of them that's running, they've put the bills on the table. But the mayor's seat has been the seat that hasn't been signing off on it. You understand? So the mayor position, no matter how much the citizens say we want this, we want that, if you don't have a mayor that's going to sign off on what the people want, then you're not, those things don't get pushed forward. So that's why, and knowing about the history of Philadelphia, again, looking at the other candidates, none of them have a history of stepping and going against the system, going against the grain. They have all complied with the system to get where they're at. And as you do your research on me, you're going to see that's just not what I do. I take a stand with the people. I'm here because of the people. You understand? And when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about running. I'm talking about my existence. I went to Girard College, was a program for the unfortunate, but brilliant. So I was raised by the village. So me becoming a politician is all about bringing that village atmosphere to the entire city of Philadelphia instead of just keeping it for myself.
So, as somebody who's about to running for mayor, there's so many people running for mayor. What are your steps? What can you do that's going to make you stand out? What's next for you?
Well, I'm going to continue to do the great work that we're doing. As our mayoral campaign grows, we're going to increase the work that we're doing. So what this mayoral campaign is doing is making me more visible, is open up the ears for people to really buy into our citywide plans. Everything that I'm proposing to do across the city, I've, all glory be to God, been doing locally. So, through Life Outside the Streets, through Manny Strong Records, my first business endeavor, which was through music, and through service, I've already been serving the city, but I haven't been able to serve it on a citywide level. So, that my first step is just spreading the word. That's why I wanted to share with you, a local legend in media. As you see my campaign, you're going to see me making rounds around with people like Shelly Shell, who have been doing this work, but unrepresented. We're in Philadelphia. If I was the mayor, 10 to 20 years ago, we wouldn't only have NBC and ABC, we would have Shelly BC. You understand? Because Urban Expressions was always that local voice. But till this day, we don't have a local network that's broadcasting. But you've been doing this work. So like you and myself, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see me taking and shedding the spotlight on the true Philadelphians, on the individuals that haven't sold out, the individuals that have integrity, but just haven't had the right leadership to move things forward.
All right, so when it comes to going into the booth, now it's not a booth anymore. When you come in the writing, you have to write it in. A lot of us just go straight Democrat. A lot of us just go straight Republican. But you have to do this a little different with you, Jon McKay.
Yeah, so, what Shelly Shell is talking about, I'm running as a write-in candidate. So just to give you a little crash course about politics, when your name is on a ballot, that means your name is already on a ticket. When you go in there, people can simply press a button. But what people don't know, for every election and for every position, you can always write in a candidate. So I'm campaigning as a write-in candidate for two reasons. Number one, there's not a more authentic vote. In order to write my name in, you had to be connected and introduced to me personally. You understand what I'm talking about? And the other reason is because it's time. In Dr. King's speech, he told a story, he mentioned a story about Nicodemus, and Nicodemus was a rich person who asked Jesus, what must I do to be saved? And he said he didn't tell him that you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't kill. He said you must be born again. You understand? You have to basically do away with the old and come in with the new. And that landed on my spirit. And for me, I don't want to come through that political system as my candidates are. I want to start fresh. So this is, and what he also said is basically America needs to be born again. So in order to be born again, you got to do things from scratch. So, I feel as though running a write-in campaign requires for me to put in the most work on the ground to introduce myself to the community. And then it's always also teaching a level of literacy. One thing that we haven't been talking about here in Philadelphia is the fact that the No Child Left Behind Act and so much other history has proven that our community, especially the black community, but in all shades and colors, anybody raised in the urban community, our education and literacy levels are low. You understand? So a big part of our campaign is education and literacy. So we're going to teach you about politics. We don't want you to just vote because we're asking you to vote, because of the commercials and the people we show you. We're going to educate you about the voting process. We're going to educate you about what your vote gives you and the power that it gives you. And if you go in there, as you go in there to write my name in, that shows that you know how to write, you know how to read. So if you don't know how to read and write, when I get to you, we're going to teach you on the spot. We're not waiting for anything. We got the internet, we got all types of technology and resources to bring everybody up to speed. So we're committed to educating our community and, on that process. This is going to open up the door for other individuals. When you want to get your name on a ballot, and I'm going to go get the 1,000 signatures and show them to you guys and still not put my name on the ballot. Why? Again, because I want to educate people and show everybody the entire voter process.
All right, tell them how to spell your name.
My name is Jon with a J, spelled Jon. And look at that. It's even confusing in saying my name. It's pronounced Jon, but it's spelled Jon. So to get that right, you're going to most certainly have to know me, right? But Jon, Jon, Hakeem, Hakim, McKay, MCKAY. Now, you probably only have to put in Jon McKay, which is my first and last name, but you have my whole government now.
All right, Jon McKay for mayor. You heard it first right here.
Write me in, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you're ready to bring security to our community, if you're ready to heal our community, if you're ready for everyone to have a fair opportunity at building wealth, sharing wealth, you understand, I'm your candidate. You understand, if you want more of the same, then, do your thing. But, I'm the only one in this lane. So, keep smiling over everything and put God first.
Jon McKay. Let's go. Jon McKay for mayor. Write it in. Write it in. It should be right there.